talk to you about owning land, buying land when you really can't afford to. That was our situation 2 years ago.
Yes, it was.
Right in the middle of the thing that was going around. So today we're going to just tell you, walk you through what we did, and maybe it'll help you. I don't know. I know that my kids are stuck in a really big city, and I'm really afraid for them at this point. And they're young. They're in their 30s, early 40s, and they need to work. And when you move to a remote location like this, it's not always possible to work and have a farm or a homestead.
Right.
So we're going to tell you how we did ours. We wanted to move to Washington State, where my husband's from. Trees, water, that was a good plan. Well, we couldn't afford it, and we had to be realistic, and that's what you have to do. You have to look at your situation. If you're living in an apartment, if you're living paycheck to paycheck like we were doing, we were living in our RV on land that was owned by family. And it was hard. You want to go and do your own thing, and affordable land is there. And where we found it was Arizona. Now, we had a whole plan to go to Vegas and work. Patrick was going to work. We were going to go back and forth to our homestead in Arizona. Arizona got locked down in 2020. That didn't work. So we started looking where our friends live, about an hour away from our friends. My friends of 40 years. And I ended up finding a piece of land that we couldn't say no to. We put $750 down on it, and it was $212 a month. That's affordable land to me. If all you have to do is put a small deposit on it and they'll carry the loan, you're going to have to haul your water in. Yeah, you will. Unless you have money, unless you're selling a house and you have money to come out here, build a little house, whatever you want to build, and put a well in and all that. But water rights out here are a pain in the neck. I'll tell you right up front. So, but we've had no problems with water here. We've found somebody who delivers water to us. They have a well. There's other options, and I can go into that on another video. But buying land right now, when things are so crazy, I think it's worth it. If you can and you want to get out of the cities, they're already warning you there's going to be blackouts. They're already warning you about a load of things. I'm worried about my kids. They are in Southern California, and you know that's going to happen. Rolling blackouts are going to happen there. Here, not so much. Now, we lived a year off grid. We do have power, but if that power goes out, we know how to live off grid. We have generators. We have solar. We have the things we need, and we know how to do it even in the dead of winter. And that's what you need to find out right now. If you can handle that, and if you can, you get out to a piece of land like this. It's gorgeous here. There's a lot of wind, yeah, and you're going to deal with water and all that stuff. But it is so worth it not to have a mortgage payment every month, a high rent payment. Wait a minute. If you can handle going back and forth to work, which was what Patrick will talk about in a minute, because he had to do it for a year, then you're going to be okay. It can be done. Even at today's current gas prices, you can handle it. But I would get out of the cities if you absolutely could. And I will leave a link below to the website that I went to look for land. It's not that hard. It really isn't. And you might have to move somewhere you don't want to move. But at least you'll own your own land, and you'll be able to farm your land. If worse comes to worse, and it might, you need to be able to grow your own food and have a few animals. We have 5 acres here. Patrick and I own another 2 acres about 17 miles from here that my grandfather purchased 80 years ago, which is an ironic story I'll tell you at some point. But where you see in back of me, that's our land. Yeah, it's full of sagebrush. Who cares? If we need it, it's here. We can clear it and we can use it. I think that we're on about 2 acres. We're actually utilizing about 2 acres maybe. It's so worth getting your own land and not worrying about thing I want to stress to you is if you have the ability to come and look physically at your land, you should. Any land that you're thinking of buying. And no matter what your income level is and what you have available, if you have $1,000 less, I think that you can swing it, especially out here in Arizona or Utah. We're in southern Utah. And I would not buy anything sight unseen. If you can get here, get here. Then you'll know what it's like in person. I would not buy anything off the internet without being here. We didn't. We looked at 2 properties out here. One was too close to the railroad tracks, and it was all sand. It was a sand pit. This is sandy, but people are growing alfalfa out here and corn, and we know things can grow.
So if you want to go remote, be willing to drive. If you're still working, me, I'm 65. I retired, and now I don't work now. And be prepared to drive that extra mile for this lifestyle. It comes with a price, and some people can do it, and that's not a financial thing. It's you got to be a certain kind of person to live in a remotely like this. I mean, we're happy. It's it's quiet, it's peaceful. There's critters, but I had to drive at first when we first got here. We got here in November, and it was almost dead of winter, and I had to drive over a short little mountain pass. I had to dodge deer and everything else, because when I get off work, I wouldn't get home until 11, 12, sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning, because it takes me an hour and 10 minutes or so to get here. And so it goes with a price, so be willing to make sacrifices. But we love it, we enjoy it, and we're still here.
Lastly, I think that you have to understand that you have to be a certain type of person to put up with living out here, especially if you're going to live off grid. Well, you have a thought on that? Because not everybody's cut out, and we see the remnants of people leaving.
Yeah, out here, we see all these campers and trailers and things that have been abandoned for years. People come out here thinking, "Oh, this is great,"
and it is.
And it is. We love it, but you see that they stick around for maybe a month or 2, maybe 3 months tops, and just bail on it. They just leave their stuff and go. But that's them. That's where it's a different kind of person that it takes to enjoy what is here.
Yeah.
And just peace and tranquility is huge.
Yeah. It translates into peace, and I feel like you don't have to bug out from here. We're already bugged out. We don't live in a city. We're an hour away from the nearest city that could give us any kind of grief.
We hear an occasional train go by, and no car horns, blah blah blah.
No car alarms.
Except ours. No fighting neighbors.
Well, I hope that some of this or part of this was informative. If it was, give us a like, please. It helps our channel grow. We're a tiny little channel, and we would like to get monetized this year in 2022. And we would really appreciate you subscribing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time, and until we see you and we're together again, and if you have to, honk her